Hi friends, welcome to the garden. I just got finished coloring and charging up my phone after doing some study about this Hierophant card, Hierophant card, some people say. And I did draw it randomly from my deck for my coloring purposes today. And I guess I've been kind of intimidated by this card. And what I'm seeing today is this is like the sheriff of my manifesting. Okay, the sheriff. And I want to explain that, and I want to give you the message. I'm going to draw 3 cards here quick, and at the end I'm going to give some advice, 3 pieces of advice from the Hierophant energy. Okay, because if we need to get moving and we need some help with our manifesting, we need this card. So the first thing about the Hierophant that's important for you to know is that it is a card of institutions. Okay, so some of the restrictions that you've had, some of the limitations, some of the reason why you're waiting so long is because part of your mindset is still tied up with the church that you grew up in, the religion you grew up in, or even your family traditions. It's really hard to say I pledge allegiance to something that doesn't line up with your natural upbringing. Okay, so that's the first thing. When I see the card and I see his hand raised like that, it makes me think of I pledge allegiance. And so some of us are just stuck because we are in tune with the way we grew up, and we need to formulate our own belief system. So that's one of the messages of the card, and I love it because when you look at that hand stretched up, he's saying, you know, I pledge allegiance. Okay, and the next thing is I want you to take a look at those keys at the bottom. Can you see the keys? The keys are symbolic of learning, and they're also good. So there's some good that came from our past our growing up years in religious traditional ways. But many of the people that come into my world are rebels. We are rebels. And this card also represents the rebel. And so that's why if you feel like you love your religion and you feel close to it, you're welcome here at this reading. And also if you resist traditional ways of doing things, you're welcome. So let's see what these cards came up here with. Okay, so we have the World. That's a wonderful card. I always think of a portal. This figure is coming through a portal to something brand new. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles, and we have the Lovers. Okay, so as we look at these cards today, when I think about what the universe is trying to show us, and why do I call the Hierophant the sheriff? Because the Hierophant is likes order and likes rules and likes things to be lined up. Okay, and so that's why to put the Lovers right there, I guess that's where it should be, because our natural allegiance, it really is to our parents and their way of doing things. We were completely helpless when we were born, so we have carried some patterns that are part of us, and sometimes we need to split off from that. Over here we have the 5 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles is about your weaknesses, your weak spots. And the Hierophant is very good at pointing out those weak spots. You know, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You need to be in order, you need to be in line. And a lot of us rebels, we came out of that and thought, no, I don't want that. I want to be free, right? I want to create my own world. But I looked at this Hierophant card and I saw like a Superman cape on backwards. Now I know that seems weird, but that's what I saw. And I saw that we are looking to our church leaders and our institutional leaders, our educational leaders. We're looking at them to be our savior. You know, we're looking at them to teach us how to be. And when I thought about this being Superman's cape on backwards, it's just spoke to me about the fact that we need to make our own decisions. We need to know for sure what's right for us. And I see these 2 little bald heads peeking up here, and those are representatives of students. Okay, so the people that are into manifesting, I don't know one of you who's not a student. You take these things seriously. You use the techniques. Okay, so you are represented in this card. So my challenge to you today is, why are we looking to someone else to be our superhero, right? Our superhero, if you go look in the mirror, you're looking in the eyes of your own superhero. You need to put on your Superman's cape so you can see it. You need to rely on your own sense of yourself. The problem with where we are right now, not everyone, but some of the people that like the law of attraction and really like to manifest, is that we've made a Hierophant out of the manifesting. We've made saying affirmations and visualizations and doing all the stuff we're supposed to do has become too much of an institution. We're leaning too much on the things that we're doing and not on the connection inside. I mean, when I look at these, straight down here from the top of this card, from the crown of this Hierophant to the Lovers, are we at that place where we know in our heart of hearts the connection with the divine? Or do we have to depend, first we grew up depending on our parents and depending on our schools and our churches, and now are we too dependent on manifesting rules, right? So how I teach and how I believe is so true is that you have cringes that happen to you. Sometimes you'll hear information or you'll read somebody's book and it'll make you cringe. That's your inner being starting to try to speak to you, okay? Intuition is a language of the body. And the lesson here, remember I said I was going to give some pieces of advice. The first piece of advice is, thank you, Chris Reck over at Minnow Pond. He's wonderful. He always says, don't talk about your weaknesses. Okay, so in this card, it's a reminder that yes, you have parts of your personality and parts of your life you're not proud of. We don't want to talk about them, but we do want to address them. And we do want to make sure we're making decisions from the gut, where you feel at your calm, most relaxed state, where you feel guided, follow that path. And then, so rather than talk about your issues and complain, you can go to a website that I created. It's for learning how to detach, learning how to let go. It's called OurMoneyMachine.com, and I will put it into the comments below. Secondly, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is like exciting. If it's a love reading, you're like, oh yes, yes, I want that. Well, let's do it. Let's take that. Let's write it down on a piece of paper. I intend to form a soulmate relationship with my inner being. Write it down. I intend to create a collaborative, cooperative, compassionate relationship with my inner being. I'm going to take my Superman cape. I'm going to put it on the right way. I'm going to place myself in my own self's hands. Now, yes, we need guidance and we need teachers. Yes, you need to be the student sometimes. But when it comes to getting what you're wanting, you're the only one that can tell what it is that you're wanting. And then the world. The advice around the world card is accept that you're at a portal. Okay, accept that the life is opening up for you. You have completed a cycle. Something in your past around the institutions, I can feel the wind coming up. I love that it came up right now. It's like, let's let go of the things that have been holding us back. Let's move forward, all right? Let's go through the portal. So my recommendation for this card is that you follow my lead. I'm spending time sitting straight up with my eyes closed. Some people call that meditation. Well, meditation always makes me cringe. So I decided I am simply going to sit upright with my eyes closed and have an experience. And I'm doing that every day as I feel so inspired. What I see here in the top corner of the world card, I've never seen this before, but look at that white spirit, right? There are clouds on all three corners, but the breath of spirit coming through, and it's an eagle. And so that just makes me, on the wings of eagles, spirit, allowing that wind to come up behind us and to blow us through and help us get to the next level. Okay, so we have go ahead and complain all you want, but do it in the same breath that you're learning how to let it go. Secondly, to really make a commitment to yourself, to your inner being, and not even with me. I know these ideas are fun, but I'm not the Hierophant. That you have a connection with your intuition that will help you with any reading to know it's for you. But make that commitment going forward that you really want to get to know the inner you, your inner being. And then lastly, the world, to really make that decision for yourself that you're finishing a cycle. What is it you're finished with? and move forward. Okay, so that's our message, the first coloring book message. I'm excited to do it. I can't wait to do it again, and to lean into how my intuition and how the cards feel to me may be completely different from you. And if that's the case, please leave a comment, because I would love to hear your thoughts. These cards speak by their art, as you've heard me say many times. And if you enjoyed this reading, please come back and visit me again. Hit the thumbs up and the subscribe, and then you'll know every time that I put out a reading. There is a comment contest going on right now. It is on the full moon reading, so be sure to check that out, because then you can have a reading in my garden. Have a beautiful day, my friends.